Greetings and welcome to week 10, Justice 131, Rural Alaska Justice. I don't know about you, I feel good. It was nice having a spring break. Um, it was nice having a week off. I hope you enjoyed it. It was beautifully sunny here, and I think it was beautifully sunny in most of the state. So hopefully we all had a real good week off, and we're all re-energized, and we're all welcome to be back here. A couple of things going on. This week we're going to look at tribal courts. It's a 2-week process. Um, there's a document on tribal courts that you're going to read the first half of this week. There's a document on tribal courts that finishes next week, and you'll read the second half of it. Really, really, really a good explanation of the tribal court system in Alaska, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. In addition to the document you're reading, I've got a video I want you to watch. In the first week video, to go with the first half of the tribal court readings, is a speech that the Chief Justice here in Alaska gives to the Senate every year, kind of a state of the court type of speech. She makes it every year. It's a she this year. Has been for a while. Um, and she talks about how the Alaska state court system is doing for, in this case, 2013. Well, more like 2012. The report was in 2013. She talks about the highs, the lows, the good, the bads. What is the state court accomplishing? What is it not accomplishing? What are the challenges in front of it? What are the successes? What's going to happen when the legislature slashes the court's budget? Stuff like that. So it's a neat speech. It's about an hour long, 45 minutes to an hour long. And there's also a link to a written version if you'd rather read it than listen to it. And so the question the first week that I want you to ponder and discuss and write about is look at these two systems then. Look at what you know about the tribal court system. What do you know about what Chief Justice just told you about the Alaska system? How are the two doing? These two systems have got an enormous jurisdiction and cover an awful lot of our citizens, all of them in many regards. So tell me what you think of the two systems. After you've looked at them, it's compare and contrast time. Strengths, weaknesses, ups, downs, what they should be doing, what they should stop doing, that type of thing. So a neat study. And then next week, we're going to be doing the same thing, actually. We're going to finish the Alaska Tribal Court document, finish reading those chapters, and then watch the current state of the court speech, the one that was just given weeks ago, 2014, but probably covers more 2013 actually, where she's going to give an update from the speech you watched last week. So what changed in the year? How was this year better or worse than last year? And how does that still jive? Because you're going to see a lot of this. You're both the document and the speech talks a great deal about how is the state system, can the state system work with the court system? What changes can we make, stuff like that. So state courts and tribal courts this week. So interesting. It's going to be fun, and we're going to do that for 2 weeks. The big news that I put in red bold letters on an announcement and in your course contents is that I am changing your final exam. It's still a PowerPoint. You still owe me a PowerPoint, just like you did at the midterm. But rather writing about anything, I want to write you about something. Those of you that are also taking the 121 class will recognize this because I just talked in the 121 class about this week's writing assignment being on this mudslide down in Washington State. And I'm going to change, this is today's Sunday's paper. I'm going to change today's Sunday Seattle Times. I'm going to change your writing assignment, your final exam, your PowerPoint, in that it has to be on this mudslide. And there's a real important reason I'm doing this. One, it's going to unfold in front of our eyes. I mean, for the next couple of weeks between now and the end of class, this thing is going to probably totally unfold. Right now, it's mega crisis time. They have no idea what they've got. They have no idea what they're doing. They're trying to find survivors and victims out in the middle of this huge mud flow dam that is the Stillaguamish. Work on that one. Stillaguamish River dammed down in Washington, and they're trying to do this before the dam breaks underneath them and washes away cities below them. So they're trying to figure out what in the world they're going to do about this dam, what they're going to do about the victims, how many survivors they might have out there. Right now, they are purely in the what in the world do we have? It's crisis management right now is all it is. And as we watch this over the coming week, it's going to keep ramping up. They'll finally get a grip on it. Bad things will really happen. Hopefully, good things will really happen, and then we'll get it under control, and we'll start to take care of the situation and let it wind down. The slide, when you look at the scenes and stuff, if you were around in 1980, which many of you may or may not have been, it looks an awful lot like when Mount St. Helens blew. I was underneath Mount St. Helens working as a cop when that thing blew, and the river and the slide and the crisis we're going through looks a lot like that. And that's another reason I really want to push on this. In rural Alaska, and anywhere actually, and I've mostly worked in rural places, small towns and rural places, and it's a fact that this is what you've got to deal with. This is what you've got to face. In the 30 years I've been doing this up and down the West Coast, I've had rock slides. I've had rock slides bury people and parts of communities. I've had volcanoes. I've had tsunamis. I've had floods. I've had blizzards. I've had heat waves. I've had forest fires. I mean, all kinds of natural disasters that are just that. They are a disaster. They are a crisis, and they are going to cripple, if not kill, your community. And they always happen in a blink of an eye. You're sitting around doing absolutely nothing, and 30 seconds later, your town's gone. It's an amazing thing to sit through and work with. So this is going to be something that if you're in this career, this is something that you're gonna face. I've spent 30 years qualifying with my handgun every X number of months, and so far, luckily, I think it's a wonderful thing. I haven't had to shoot anybody. I haven't been shot at necessarily. Kind of a long story. I haven't been. I don't think I've had a bank. I know I haven't had a bank robbery. A few good pursuits of kidnapping here and there, but they're few and far in between. This is the thing you're going to deal with. So I want your PowerPoint to be on this situation, on this crisis, because what a laboratory you have in front of you. You're going to watch this thing from start to finish now in a couple of weeks, and you're going to be able to look at the things they did really well, the things they totally screwed up. Somebody might have died, somebody will maybe die from what they did wrong. How do you handle these type of things? If you're on a roadblock and you're telling everybody to turn left to get out of the danger zone, and somebody wants to go right and go straight ahead, how do you, as law enforcement, handle that? Are you what is that? Is that an arrestable situation? What do you do with that person? If you're about to have a wall of water come screaming down a river, and you ask people to evacuate, are you allowed to order people to evacuate? When and how? What if they don't want to? What if they really do want to? How can you help them? You've got looting you've got to take care of, possible looting. How do you keep the area safe once you have evacuated it and emptied it out? You've got traffic control, you've got communications, you've got boy, have you got your hands full. And you're going to find a lot of not resources on this. You're going to find newspaper articles. Excuse me. My battery was going dead. Not anymore. Oh, better. You're going to find newspaper articles. You're going to find um, websites. You've got weather websites, meteorological websites, sheriff department websites, uh, Red Cross websites, emergency management websites. You're going to find TV articles, TV shows, newscasts. You are going to have unlimited resources to research this thing. So good luck for you. That's going to be your new final exam. Good luck with the court system this week, and we'll see you inside.